Welcome back, guys, to another... Okay, that didn't work out as well as I thought. Anyway, so welcome back, guys, to another, what is this? Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck commentary profile? Something? Yeah, this is technically a profile. So, get rid of the music. There we go. Mute my opponent, which is no one. And let's do this thing. Let's do this thing! So finally, guys, we're going to bloody do Elemental Dragons. So I've been talking about it, but now we're gonna finally do it. So what's there to say about Elemental Dragons? So a couple things. First of all, I'm going to also be doing duels in this one. I might have to split this video up into two parts, like I normally do, because this deck profile is obviously going to take a while to explain. So first thing that I like to get off my chest is I only run 2 Draco Sacks and 2 Big Eyes. People who run 3 of them, you know what? That's your own opinion. You can run 3 if you want. I mean, in real life, honestly, who wants to spend 2 Big Eyes and 2 Draco Sacks? You're already looking at over $200. Making it 3 of each? Well, holy hell. Hopefully your mom's purse is big enough, because that's going to cost a lot of money. So this is E-Dragons on a budget, if that's even possible. But yeah. So the majority of the money is going to be spent on the extra deck. The E-Dragons themselves are probably $5 a pop, and everything else is cheap as shit. Oh, well, except for Gold Stark and Super Juve have gone up in price now, for obvious reasons, because of E-Dragons. So yeah, anyway, I've also got 2 Starform Dragons. I'll be talking about the extra deck later. So first of all, I've seen a couple of E-Dragon decks that do not run Red MD. That is kind of foolish, in my opinion, to not run a Red MD. You can only run one of him, and there's a reason why, because he's so damn good. First of all, if you summon an E-Dragon to the field, banishing him to summon Red MD, and then using Red MD to special summon another E-Dragon from your graveyard or your hand, or what, preferably the graveyard. If you banish that E-Dragon, then it's like a +1 to your hand, or actually it's a +0. Technically, you lost a card for summoning Red MD. Then you get another card from banishing the Elemental Dragon and adding whatever attribute type dragon monster from your deck to your hand. So it's amazing. Run Red MD. He's really good. Plus he's 2,800. I mean, how can you argue with that? He's 2,800. Anyway, so then you run 2 Light and Darkness Dragons. A lot of people, this is also one of those discrepancies. It's at your own discrepancy, really. You can run 3. I do not like running 3 Light and Darkness Dragons. Here's the reason why. Excuse me. Whew. Finally. First of all, you don't want to actually summon Light and Darkness Dragon unless you already have the advantage. Because think about it. He negates on both sides of the playing field. So effects that activate from the hand, like all of your E-Dragon's effects, will be negated by your Light and Darkness Dragon. I haven't tested it out whether or not, if you tribute 2 monsters to summon Light and Darkness Dragon and you had already activated Super Juve, I don't think it'll negate the chaining of Super Juve at the end phase. I don't think it will, but I haven't tested it out yet, obviously. Otherwise I would know. So I only run 2 Light and Darkness Dragons. It's not hard to get them to your hand, though. Like, if you're running 3 because of consistency, that's the reason why I run 3 Eclipse Wyvern. 3 Eclipse Wyvern is perfect. If I were to discard all 3 Wyverns, I would be able to add 2 Light and Darkness Dragons and 1 Red MD to my hand after Wyvern's been banished. So Wyvern's pretty good because I can discard him along with one of the Baby Dragons, and then I can banish both Wyvern and Baby Dragon to summon one of the Daddy Dragons, I guess. And then you get whatever monster, like whatever Dark or Light monster you had just removed from play and add it to your hand. So it's really good. I really like it. That's the reason why I run 3 Wyvern. So in terms of the Elemental Dragons, you run 3 of each. They're really self-explanatory. I don't really want to go into an explanation because otherwise this is going to be a really long video. So here's the basic gist of all of the Elemental Dragons. If you want to special summon it from your hand or the graveyard, you can banish 2 of its element or dragon type monsters. So for Blaster, obviously, it's going to be 2 fire and or dragon type monsters from your hand and or the graveyard, except that card, of course, and then special summon it. Now, if it does get special summoned, then it will return. If it gets special summoned even with Monster Reborn, it'll be sent back to your hand during your opponent's next end phase. So just keep that in mind. That's the reason why most people want, if they bring them out, they'll either tune with them or they'll overlay with them. So make sure you don't keep them on the field past your end phase, preferably if you can help it. So that's their first effect. Their second effect is if you discard this card and one of its elements. So in Blaster's case, it's discard this card and one fire monster to the graveyard. Then target one card on the field and destroy that target. So they all have their own individual effect for that part, where if you discard a fire type, a water type, a wind type, or a rock or earth type, then they all have their own individual effect. If you discard a fire type along with Blaster, you destroy a card on the field. If you discard a water type along with Tidal, then you send one, it's a Foolish Burial. You send one card from your deck to the grave, or send one monster from your deck to the grave. Tempest, if you send one wind type along with him, then you get to add one dragon type monster from your deck to your hand. So you could add any dragon. It doesn't have to be wind. You could add Tiger Dragon. You could add Red MD. I don't know why you would waste it on that. Just use Eclipse Wyvern. Usually what I do is I'll add a tuner to my hand. So usually a Delta Flyer. But you can add a Baby Dragon, do whatever the hell you want, really. Now, Redox, what he does if you send a rock type along with him to the grave, he will special summon, target one monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. So it's like a Monster Reborn almost. So you just special summon it. It doesn't clarify attack or defense, so I assume it can be either. So that's pretty much what he can do. Only these three, the Tempest, Tidal, and Blaster, really are only good for summoning in attack mode, because Redox has such a shitty attack. So in case of you were wondering, here's some interesting trivia. All of the elemental dragons, their attack and defense will add up to 4,600 exactly. So that's kind of cool, right? Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so, and then the third effect for all of the elemental dragons is if they get banished, then you can add one attribute, that attribute type dragon monster from your deck to your hand. So in Blaster's case, if he gets banished, add one fire dragon type monster from my deck to my hand. And they all have this last effect. You can only activate one of these effects, so one of the either special summoning him, discarding a fire monster along with him, or having him banish and activate his effect. You can only activate one of those three effects for each elemental dragon per turn. So if I have two Tempests in the grave, I can special summon one, but if I special summon one by banishing the other Tempest, I can't activate that banished Tempest's effect, because I already special summoned one Tempest. So just keep track of that. Make sure that you are as fruitful as possible. Get the optimal result from banishing, summoning, doing all that jazz, discarding, and whatnot. So just make sure you keep track of that. Now, the reason why Tiger Dragon's in here is because, first of all, I have one non-elemental dragon of each attribute except for Tidal. And the reason why I don't have an attribute dragon type of Tidal is, first of all, it's extremely hard to get a water dragon type. I mean, there is stuff like Blizzard Dragon, I guess you could use, but he's not that great. And I only run one Baby Dragon for Tidal because I'm not that into Tidal's effect. Like I really don't like Tidal's effect at all, to be honest. He's a Foolish Burial for a monster. Like, what did he freaking do, to be honest? Actually, I'm going to take out this guy and put in an Abyss Gaius. Just because I'm like that thing. So Abyss Gaius, well, I'll get into him later. But yeah, so that's how you work the elemental dragons. Tiger Dragon, the reason why he's in here is he's an Earth Dragon. So if Redox gets banished, I can either add another Redox, a baby Pebbles, that's actually what he's called, is Pebbles, or a Tiger Dragon to my hand. And Tiger Dragon's quite good. All you have to do is sack one Dragon-type monster, and you can destroy up to 2 face-down spell or trap cards your opponent controls. Up to. So even if they have one, then you can still destroy that one. But I really like it because it helps clear the field of annoying stuff, like, I don't know, anything. Mirror Force, Deep Prisons, crap, I can't really think of anything else that they wouldn't have already activated. Like a Torrential Tribute they would have already activated, or Compulse they would have already activated, or it could be like a Dark Bribe, destroy the Dark Bribe or something like that. I don't know. But he's pretty good because of that, and he's got a pretty decent attack, 2,400. But yeah, it just requires one tribute of a dragon type, so it's not bad. Pebbles, I'm going to say this. If I'm going to say this for Pebbles, I'm going to say this for all of them. If you've got... So if you use the effect of the baby dragons, whether it be Pebbles, Droplets, Sparks, or Drafts, if you use their effect, then the Elemental Dragon cannot attack that turn. So what their effect is you discard... Okay, for all of them. If it's Pebbles, then you discard one other Dragon type or Earth monster and special summon a Redox. So in Droplet's case, it'd be one other water or dragon type. Usually, I just choose a random dragon because I don't usually match up their attributes. So it's a little bit harder to do that. I just use any dragon in my hand. And then you special summon the Daddy version from your deck, which is really good because it's not from your hand, which means you're not losing any more hand advantage than you already lost. But they can attack that turn, so it's usually only good when you're opening up first turn type thing where you can't attack anyway. But also keep in mind that if you special summon your Daddy Dragon from the deck, that's still a special summon. So when your opponent ends their turn, Daddy Dragon will come back to your hand. So just remember that. That is one of the major downfalls of E-Dragons. I mean, they're broken, but they are also balanced if you think about it. I mean, the fact that they can bring out these amazing rank 7s. I mean, it's Konami's own fucking fault for making these beastly-ass rank 7 monsters. But it's not the E-Dragon's fault for being so amazing. It's Konami's fault for making Draco's Sack and Big Eye so amazing. Anyway, so that's what you do with all of the baby dragons. So usually, what dragons am I discarding along with the baby dragons? Usually a Daddy Dragon or an Eclipse Wyvern, really. I usually try to save the tuners, because notice that all of this deck revolves around special summoning shit all the time, anywhere you go, man. Ow, that actually hurt. Okay, anywhere you go, man, you special summon shit. So you special summon a Blaster using Sparks effect or something like that. So then you can normal summon a Delta Flyer and then tune Delta Flyer with Blaster and go into a Starform Dragon. I mean, because you haven't wasted your normal summon yet. That's the reason why you were able to normal summon Delta Flyer. You're able to bring out all this amazing shit, and chances are you haven't even wasted your normal summon yet. That's the reason why Tiger Dragon's pretty good in this, because that's your normal summon that you can waste if you want. Dread Dragon's pretty good. I mean, Dread Dragon, well, I'll get into him in a little bit. But yeah, that's the whole idea behind the baby dragons is I only run 2 of each except for Droplets because I don't really like Tidal that much. But Abyssgeist is good in case if you do. I actually did have 2 titles on the field once. And Abyssgeist would have been pretty decent to summon, but instead I summoned the Big Eye, I think. So 3 Eclipse Wyvern. Why? Because when he's sent to the graveyard, he can banish 1 level 7 or higher light or dragon type monster from my deck. And then once he gets banished from the graveyard, then you can add that monster that you just banished to your hand. So it's really good that way because you send them along with your baby dragons, and then you send either a Light and Darkness Dragon or Red MD, depending on the situation. Then you banish him to summon like one of your elemental dragons, and then you add whatever monster you just banished, either Red MD or Light and Darkness Dragon. I'm just calling LA Double D. How about that? That's what I'm going to call Light and Darkness Dragon. LA Double D. So you can add LA Double D or Red MD to your hand. Because of Wyvern, so it's really good. That's the reason why I run 3 of them. So you don't need to run 2 Light and Darkness Dragons or LA Double T. I don't know. It sounds really weird saying that, but yeah. So Delta Flyer, he's a tuner, and he can start raising levels by 1. So usually I'll raise one of my elemental dragons by 1, making it 8 plus 3 equals Starform Dragon. Or if you do actually have like any other monster on the field, I guess a Tiger Dragon, you can go into a level 10. Trident Dragon. So I just have any possibility down here. Normally what I'm able to summon is the level 7s, and I've actually summoned the level 8 ones, but that was by a fluke. The guy gave me an Ojama Trio, and I took it and tuned with it. It was pretty funny, actually. But yeah, so that's the whole reason for Delta Flyers, because he can make Starform Dragon. Starform Dragon's pretty good. I like it. Dread Dragon's the other level 2 tuner, or the other tuner. He's a dragon tuner, but he's level 2, so that way you can take Dread Dragon and either Sparks or Drafts, make a Cataster, or take a Wyvern and one of the other baby dragons and make a Mighty Warrior. I couldn't really see any good level 6 synchros. There aren't very many good level 6 synchros. But then you could take Dread Dragon and something else. I mean, it really depends on the situation. I don't know how you would make the level 7s. I can't remember how you make the level 7s. Oh, actually it is possible. But it's harder to get out Exploder Dragon Wing than anything. Because sometimes I take the tokens from the Draco Sack and I use them with Delta Flyer and I pump up the tokens level by 1 and then I make a level 7. So it's a little bit harder to make Exploder Dragon Wing, but if you can get him off, he's worth it. He's fucking amazing. I'll get into him later. But also, if you have to use Dread Dragon as a blocker, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add one level 3 or lower dragon type monster from your deck to your hand. So you can add one of these baby dragons or a Delta Flyer. So it's really good. I mean, even if he is not being able to be used as a tuner. So yeah. Heavy Sword monster with 1 Dark Hole should be obvious. I run 2 Sword of the 7 Stars, or Sacred Sword of 7 Stars, whatever it's called. Because 1 was not enough. I didn't see enough play of it, and it's really good. I mean, you banish one of the elemental dragons from your hand, get its effect, and then draw 2 free cards. Hell yeah! Holy crap! They obviously made this card specifically for elemental dragons. Like, this is what helps make elemental dragons broken. So, yeah, I run 2 of those for consistency. It's really good. I wouldn't recommend running any less. And I wouldn't recommend running any more just because of, you know, I would recommend only 40 cards. So 3 gold Sarks. The reason why this price of this card went skyrocketed is because of E-Dragons. So you banish one of, so you activated it, you select and remove from play one of your E-Dragons from your deck. In 2 turns you get it, but right now you get to activate one of their effects because you just banished it. So add a fire type dragon, a water type dragon, a wind type dragon, or a earth type dragon, depending on which one you banished. And then in 2 turns you get them to your hand, so that's like a +1 because you used up 1 card, Gold Sark, banished one of them, got another card from your deck, that's +0, and then later on you get them from the remove from play pile, that's +1. It's extremely good, Gold Sark. It helps consistency in being able to pull out some of your good stuff. I usually try to banish Tempest because of Tempest's ability to add wind type dragon monsters from my deck to my hand. So like I'll go after either a Delta Flyer or a Drafts. Either one. So it's really good in that case. Okay, so Super Juve. The reason why this, I bought this back when it was $1.25 for Exodia, and now it's at like what, $6.50 or some shit. Like I knew Hieratics ran it, and I was like, maybe that's the reason why. No, it's because the new meta, which was, it wasn't E-Dragons yet. It was, I mean, it was E-Dragons, but it wasn't out yet, so we didn't know everything that E-Dragons did. But now we do, and holy shit, Super Juve really helps you replenish your hand. Because think about it, discarding dragon-type monsters to activate baby dragons effects, that counts towards Super Juve, and even if you sacrifice this, like, tribute summon Tiger Dragon, and I've heard that Light and Darkness Dragon, LADD, also will add towards Super Juve. As long as you activated it first, then Super Juve's effect will go off. That's what I've heard. I haven't tested it out. I honestly don't know if LADD would be able to negate Super Juve's effect. I would think so because it's supposed to be able to negate activations. But whatever. And that's the reason why you run 3 Super Juves to replenish it, and you run 3 because of consistency's sake. But yeah. And then 1 Starlight Road. Why? Because I have a Stardust Dragon. I rarely ever summon low lates. But it's good to be able to protect my dragons or monsters or whatever. Notice I don't really have much back row in this, so it's really only to protect my monsters from annoying shit like Dark Hole, like my opponent top decking Dark Hole, and it's like, what the fuck was even the point? So yeah. Anyway, so getting into extra deck. What am I at right now? Oh my gosh, I better hurry this fuck up. Okay, so Starform Dragon. I've talked about him before in my Psychic deck, but first of all, his summoning can't be negated. He's also like Quasar because it can't be special summoned in any other way than Synchro Summon. Also, when he's special summon card and effects cannot be activated, so no torrential tributes, no, and it can't be negated like Solemn Warning or Solemn Judgment. Also, when it is unaffected by other card effects until the end of the damage step. So, until the end of the damage. If this card attacks, it is unaffected by other card effects until the end of the damage save. So there goes Mirror Force, there goes Deep Prison, Sakuretsu Armor. I don't know who the fuck runs Sakuretsu Armor these days. But also Gravity Bind, he's unaffected, so he can go right through Gravity Bind. I'm not sure about Wall of Revealing Light is a different case. I won't even go into that. But yeah, Gravity Bind, can't touch him. Trident Dragon, why? Because he's possible in this deck. Mainly with Dread Dragon, but other ways as well. So I summon him, and then you just tribute like two other, or you destroy two other cards on the field, and then you're able to go for an OTK. I'll only do this if I know that an OTK is possible. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have a Gores or a fucking Battle Fader or a Swift Scarecrow or something. But Trident Dragon rarely ever sees play, but if the opening, if the opening presents itself, I'm going to take it. So Scrap Dragon, I've used him, he's extremely good. He's self-explanatory. Stardust, obvious. Black Rose, obvious. Exploder Dragon Wing. So if this card battles a monster whose attack is equal to or less than the attack of this card, you can destroy the monster immediately, and then inflict damage equal to the monster's attack. So it's pretty good. I mean, you can use this to get over actually, you can use this to get over a Catastor. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's equal to that. Yeah, you can use it to get over a Catastor. You could use it to get over some other stuff, I suppose. But I just like it because, because of his ability to inflict damage equal to your opponent's monster's attack. It's pretty good. He's never been summoned so far, but E-Dragon is rather new. I've only used it probably about 10 times. So Mighty Warrior, because he's the only level 6 I could find. I was running this Beast Vulcan guy, and he sucked balls. So I'm just going to run this. This card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the destroyed monster's attack. So whatever. Catastor, obvious. Abyss Gaios, because you can summon him with a title. I've had two titles on my field before, and I could have summoned him, but he wasn't in my extra deck at the time, obviously. That's why I just changed him in this episode. So what he does is, while this face-up card has XYZ materials, level 5 or higher monsters cannot attack. Quasar cannot attack. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can attach one XYZ material from this card, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls that have less attack than this card. Chances are, your opponent will have all monsters that are less than 2800 attack. I'm not going to let him get that high. But yeah, so all their effects are negated. So, yeah, if you ever need to use the effect in that particular case, it's good and whatnot. 2 Draco Sacks and 2 Big Eyes. These guys should be self-explanatory, right? If you use Draco Sack's effect after you've summoned those 2 tokens, if you use his effect to tribute one of those tokens to destroy a card on the field, then he can't attack that turn. Just keep that in mind. Big Eye, it's a permanent change of heart. Utopia, it's a Utopia. I've got a couple level 4s in here, and that's the only reason why. If I need to summon a Utopia, I have it. But other than that, I haven't really run into any problems. So let's start actually dueling, shall we? I have no side deck. Notice that in all my duels, I have no side decks. Why? Because this deck proves fruitful in every case. I've never had to side anything in because I haven't lost a single duel with this deck. Out of the 10 duels that I've actually dueled against people, I haven't lost. So until then, I don't have a side deck.
So hey guys, I just wanted to apologize real quickly because first of all, I am going to have to split this up into 2 parts, which is the reason why I stopped right here, and then I'll begin the dueling section of it next time. So I want to apologize first of all because of the bad quality voice. I didn't realize that until after I started editing it, and by that time I had already recorded and everything, because I do a live recording of me actually going through the replays. But yeah, I guarantee you that we'll do the dueling next time in part 2, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. See ya.